Today, I would like to talk about spiritual understanding and discipline in relationship. It's very important and vital that we understand the relationship we're getting ourselves into. As a young adult, you have to have the knowledge of whatever you want to get yourself involved with. Either it's job, either it's relationship, either it's career. You cannot choose to be a registered nurse without at least having an idea what kind of field you're trying to get yourself involved with. You have to deal with different emotional issues, different diseases, different charms, different things going into it, and you have to be able to adequately balance your life and your job as well. Why is spiritual discipline and understanding important? It's vital and critical for an individual, male or females, to know that understanding is key in anything you get yourself involved in. And what is the definition of understanding? Understanding is the ability to understand something, which is comprehension, is having an insight and good judgment. What is discipline? Discipline is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior, usually by punishment to correct disobedience. But I would just say you have to have a self discipline to be able to have the best result, especially desirable result that you want in a relationship. And I'll be using the first thing I want to read here is Titus. Titus chapter 2. It said, but as for you, teach the things that are agreeable with sound doctrine, which produce men and women of good character, whose lifestyle identifies them as true Christian. Older male, verse 2, older male are to be temperate, dignified, sensible, sound in faith, in love and steadfastness, Christ-like in character. Older men supposed to be a role model for the younger men. And same for older women as well. Verse 3, older women similarly are to be referencing their behavior, not maliciously gossiping or addicted to much wine, teaching what is right and wrong. It's very vital and important that both male and females have a role model. That is one of the reasons why when you come out of a good family background, you'll see how family dynamic is. You are able to actually able to relate. You know how females are supposed to relate to men. You know how men are supposed to relate to females. It's very critical that the foundation is not destroyed. Verse 4 said, so that they may encourage the young woman to tenderly love their husbands and their children, to be sensible, pure, maker of a home where God is honored, good nature, being subject to their own husbands so that the word of God would not be dishonored. A lot of people normally forget that both men and women need love, need respect. Because it's very, very important to be in a healthy relationship where both parties value each other and see each other as a image of God. Verse 6. In similar way, ought the young men to be sensible, self-control, and to behave wisely, taking life seriously. I don't know why a lot of people think they're indestructible or believe that they can do whatever they want to do and there's no repercussions or consequence for it. Especially young men. Young men in these days are and pray that we find a way to have a young, good young adult, male or females. But young men, we have to come to God so that we are able to approach life in more good and mighty manner so that we can lead our household as well. So, if people that want to get into a relationship, you have to understand something very important. Before you get into a relationship, you have to understand what you're getting into. You have to understand and prepare yourself. Because almost everybody normally quotes the scriptures. Proverbs 18, verse 22. He will find a true and faithful wife. Some translation will say he will find a wife, find a good things, and obtain favor and approval from the Lord. The issue about not fully understanding the verse is you have to be a wife first. The man find a wife. That's what the scripture said. And what make you a wife? I was just reading some characteristics, natural and all that stuff, but I will not see that when I first encounter it. The first thing is I have to, even when God leads you to someone, there have to be something that became that make me approach them. If I found them on a bad day where they are acting out and all that stuff, even when I give them the second grade, the way they relate to me would determine how I'm going to. Maybe I should go pray again to make sure I'm hearing right. And the way that she sees me, my behavior or my repetition and all that stuff, that will determine if she's going to even entertain me. That is why he said in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7, it said, the beginning of wisdom is get wisdom, which is skillful, godly, it's predominant because in everything get wisdom. And in all you are acquiring, get understanding. This is very critical. Actively seeking Actively seek spiritual discernment, mature comprehension, and logical interpretation. Why? It's very critical that you seek spiritual discernment. I've I have bunch of female friends that they will have men that are good physique, good in articulation and all that stuff, but they don't treat them right. You keep falling for the same set of man, just come in different shape, form, and different face and race, but you're surprised that your heart is not properly cared for. Why are you so surprised? Maybe because you are not actively seeking discernment or use discernment to weed out the people who are time waster, the people who are going to hurt you emotionally, people who are going that will not care for you. And the men that are like, I had all the good women. Maybe you are not actively spiritually using discernment to distinguish people who are going to just love you for what you can provide, not what who you are. So if you remove God from the relationship you're seeking, why are you surprised that relationship is not God oriented? Don't be surprised. He said in First Peter chapter 3, verse 7, in the same way, you husband, see the key. When you become, let not use husband. Let's just use you are in a relationship, dating phase, and all that stuff. You, husband, live with your wife. That means men live with your female counterpart in an understanding way, with great gentleness and tact, and with an intelligence regarding for a marriage relationship. It's very important that you know that in a relationship, marriage, dating, all that phase, courtship in a relationship, you have to be tactic when you're dealing with females because it's very important. What is tactics? This is from Mirror Webster. The keen sense of what to do or say in order to maintain good relation with others and avoid offense. Sensitive, mature, and athletic perception, converting. So it's very important to be able to maintain that because without that, it's going to be very easy for enemy to sow seed of discomfort, to sow seed of violence, sow seed a negative seed in your relationship. It's very vital that you understand the enemy does not want a good union. And you that want a good union, you have to arm yourself with the armor of God to defend your relationship, to defend your own self. And that is why when I was talking about spiritual understanding and discipline, you have to discipline yourself to weed out all the negative behaviors that either you picked up from family members, you picked up from what you've seen around, picked up from what you've seen on Hollywood, a bad behavior that was passed down, because we have negative influence in our life. So if whatever you've picked up, whatever you bad behavior you have, you discipline yourself and you weed it out. Ephesians chapter 4 also said it. Oh, let old personality weed out. 5 verse 7. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17 also say that all things are passed away, everything has become new. So when you are starting a new process, your old pain, your old trauma, what your old boyfriend did, old whatever old that's been put in your life, let it be a bygone. Now start a new stuff because you are actively seeking for a good, godly relationship. Submit everything in this relationship to God and let God lead the relationship. Don't lead the relationship with your emotions. To continue, he said, as with someone physically weaker since she's a woman. Show her honor and respect as a fellow heir of the grace of life. See, Bible encourage men to show honor and respect to their wife. It's not just the only woman that is showing respect. Both are showing respect to each other and both are submitting in as well. So that your prayer will not be hindered or ineffective. How can you say you love God when you are not actively treating God's daughter right? You are not actively treating God's sons right. How? It's to me it's impossible for you to actively want Jesus to I love you, Jesus, I have this and all that stuff. Yet the spouse that Jesus provide for you, you're treating them wrong. And always remember, where there is no unity, there is disharmony. Ephesians chapter 6 said of verse 10 and 11, in conclusion, be strong in the Lord. Draw your strength from Him, not your own understanding, not your own strength, but from the Lord. And be empowered through your union with Him. And in the power of His boundless might, put on the full armor of God. For His prospects are like a slender armor for a heavily armed soldier, so that you may be successfully stand up against all the schemes and the strategy of and the deceit of the devil. The enemy is like a roaring lion, for First Peter chapter 5, that is looking for whom to devour. An enemy does not want you to have a successful relationship. Either you like it or not, the enemy does not want you to have a successful, good relationship. That is why it's up to you to discipline yourself so that you are not helping enemy destroying your own relationship. So that you help yourself to achieve what God wants for you. You don't want to be your own enemy. And as a man, you that's going to be the head, you have to be sensible, you have to understand, you have to equip yourself with knowledge. Both men and female have to equip yourself with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding so that you are able to fence off enemy attack. The Bible said that the enemy is like a roaring lion. I mean, and I don't want you to just listen to me. I want you to read the word of the Lord and meditate on it. Pray for spiritual discernment so that when the man, the woman that God has for you, you are able to approach them in the right way, in the right manner. Because we know, you can't know who the person is just by looking at them. Oh, the person is attractive and all that stuff. A lot of bad things come in nice package. A lot of traumatic things comes in nice packaging. So you have to make sure you find a way, you have spiritual discernment, discipline, understanding to be able to weed out the things that are not meant for you. In this note, I'm going to say continue to pray and trust God because God wants the best for you. Thank you.